Do you want to finally memorize and unlock the fretboard, whether you're a beginner or intermediate? I truly believe that this is the key to finally comprehending and understanding the entire fretboard. And what am I talking about? Triads. Triads, baby. So triads are basically just the minimum number of notes to make a chord, right? Tri meaning three notes per chord. And what we're going to be doing is working on just 3 strings, okay? The D string, the G, and the B, okay? We're only working on those 3 strings, and we're going to learn all the chords of C major up the neck on just those 3 strings. Because it's C major, there are no sharps and flats to worry about. We're going to basically learn them all the way up to the 12th fret and a little bit beyond. Let's take our first chord, G major and A minor. Those are both chords that are in the key of C. If you're the type of person that doesn't like to just constantly play the same thing over and over and not have it sound musical, I think you'll dig starting with G major and A minor. Because you could play those 2 chords together and have it sound musical, right? If we just look at the open chords, G major, right? And then A minor. And you could just sit here all day. And just go back and forth and play G major and A minor. But those are open chords. We want to talk about triads. G major, the chord of G major on these 3 strings. It's going to start on the 5th fret of the D string. Then we're looking at 4th fret of the G, and then 3rd fret of the B string. And those notes, I need you to learn those notes. The notes of a G chord are G, B, and D. G, B, D are the notes of a G chord. That's what makes up a G chord. Just those 3 notes. G, B, D. And I need you to look at the shape, and that's the major shape, the major chord shape. G, B, D, G, B, D. And try to get that under your fingers and in your brain as best you can. G, B, D. And then maybe you say D, B, G, or B, D, G. Like, just try to play it arpeggiated a couple of different, in different order, so you get the sound of each note in your head, and you can sing it or call out the note while you're plucking it to help memorize it. A minor is 2 frets up, but instead of this shape, this major shape where it's kind of like stepped, right, staggered, you're gonna just bar. You're gonna bar on the 5th fret of the G and B string, and you're going to put down your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string, right? So it's like a reversed power chord. The notes to the A minor chord are A, C, and E in that order. A, C, E, A, C, E. So A, C, E spells out the word ace, right? A, C, E. A, C, E, A, C, E, E, C, A, C, E, A. All different, order, whatever. This is your minor shape, right? And this is your major shape. So the staggered or step shape, where it's 1 finger per fret, that's your major. And then your minor is the 7, 5, 5. Okay, so now you could just go. So now, check this out, right? Because we were talking about memorizing the fretboard. Well, now you know 6 notes now on the fretboard. G, A, B, C, D, E, right? So now, From the G major, we're going to drop down to F major. It's a major chord in the C major scale, right? Or the key of C major. Sorry, the key of C major. So now you've got F major. You're you're going to keep the same shape, and you're going to go down towards the nut 2 frets. 3, 2, 1. This is an F chord, F major. F, A, C. F, A, C, F, A, C, C, A, F, C, A, F, A, C, F, F, A, F, A, C. So now we've got F, A, C, G, B, D, A, C, E, A, C, E. So not only are you learning the notes on the fretboard, you're also learning different ways to play these chords instead of just your traditional open chords, right? Let's drop down to E minor, right? E minor, again, we're just talking 3 notes. The root note, the note that the chord is named after, is always going to be on this D string. Okay, it's always going to be on that 4th string from the bottom. Okay, so this note is E. We're going to do an E minor. In the key of C major, the E chord is a minor chord. The notes of an E minor chord, it's going to be this minor shape. Remember we did A, C, E, right? 7, 5, 5. It's going to be that same shape, but we're down here by the nut. So now you've got E, G, B is your E minor chord. E, G, B, E, G, B, E, G, B, B, G, E, E, G, B, right? And just keep playing those and calling them out so you get that memorized, right? Once you've got that memorized, now you've got an E minor, F major, G major, A minor, right? E, G, B, E, G, B, F, A, C, F, A, C, G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D, A, C, E, A, C, E, right? And just keep doing that over and over and over again. But you can make it musical so you don't get too bored. We might as well do the B diminished, even though we don't play it that often, right? It's still an important chord, and we don't want gap in our knowledge in this section of the fretboard, because that's where this B diminished chord lives. The B in this case is going to be on the 4th string from the bottom, the D string. You've got B, D, and F. It's a little bit tricky, and I'm sorry if I can't show it well on the camera, but your B note is on the 4th string from the bottom, the D string. That's your B on the 9th fret, and then your D is on the 7th fret of the G string, right? F. I've got long fingers so I can do that stretch, but you might want to do the B with your pinky on the 9th fret, and then your middle finger is the D, which is the 7th fret on the G string, and then your F is the 6th fret on the B string. So that's your B diminished chord. It's a tricky one, and we don't play it that often, but it's important to know, because when you're memorizing fretboard, here's your B, here's your D, and here's your F, right? So we've got, from A minor, we've got A, C, E, up 2 frets, B, D, F. B, D, F, right? B, D, F, B, D, F, B, D, F, A, C, E, A, C, E, A, C, E, B, D, F, B, D, F, B, D, F, A, C, E, A, C, E, A, C, E. So the C major is it's the major shape, right? That staggered, that stepped shape, right? Remember this was the minor. The major is the staggered one, right? So, and that's going to be, here's your C note, right? C is the 10th fret on the D string, 4th string from the bottom. C, E, G. Okay, so 10, 9, 8. The notes of the C chord spell out the word keg. C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G. Right? Now that we're on C, now we can get super musical with our practicing the triads, right? Because we can start off at C, since that's the key we're in. And we can go to C, A minor, G, F, and just keep doing that all over again if you want. C, A minor, G, F. All right? Or you can just go go maybe C. I'm just going to play random chords and see if we can make it sound musical, right? C major. Let's go down to G. Up to A minor. F. Right? So we can have fun and make it musical and not this just boring practice stuff. The next chord in the key of C is a D minor. What's that minor shape look like again? It's not this step shape. It's going to be 2 frets up is your D, right? That's your D note. Again, we're on the D string, so 12 frets up is the octave, right? So that's also a D. So now you've got your minor shape, which is that reverse power chord looking thing, right? D on the 12th fret of the D string, F, and then A. Yeah, A. So D, F, A. D, F, A is your D minor chord. D, F, A, D, F, A, A, F, D, A, F, D, F, A, D, F, A, D, D, F, A. Right? And just try to memorize that. Right? So now we've got, all the way from the nut, we've got E minor, E minor, F major, G major, Ace, A minor, B diminished, C major, D minor, and now we can go up 2 more frets. It's still a minor, right? It's the same one that was down by the nut, the E minor. It's got our minor shape. It just looks just like that one that we did up by the nut. Okay, but your 12th fret is the nut. I hope that helps. I know in the however many minutes this video is going to end up being, I know you're not going to have the fretboard memorized, but I honestly and firmly believe that this is the key to not only unlocking those notes on the fretboard and being able to memorize them, because the more you play and call out those notes of the chords, it will also tie a lot of things together. I've been playing guitar for over 40 years, and I've never been able to really memorize the fretboard. I've tried just constantly like going all up and down with the scales and all that stuff, trying to figure out the notes and calling them out while I'm playing them, but playing scales instead of chords. Learning these triads is really going to help accelerate your ability to memorize the fretboard. And we're only working on these 3 strings, right? The D, the G, and the B, right? I think maybe I'll make a part 2 to this in sometime soon, and we'll explore the triads on the bottom 3 strings, because you'll see the patterns are a little bit reversed than doing it on the D to the G and the B. Musicians like John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, they don't use the traditional like open power or open chords all the time. There's lots of times where I'll be watching, I'll be like, what is that chord they're playing? And it's like, oh, it's just like a triad, or maybe it's a triad with like a bass note or something added to it. But this will really get you on the path of being able to play songs in different keys without having to use a capo and then just doing the open chords with a capo. This will really help you understand the entire fretboard, and this is just the starting point. I think I'm going to try to do additional videos as I learn this stuff myself, so we can learn it together. Thank you very much. Please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell for notifications. Thank you very much, and have a great day.